Yo, it's your boy Hip Hop Gamer. Stop laughing. I know y'all probably laughing at my shirt because it's mad tight, right? But I don't care. Wu-Tang is on the shirt, you know what I'm saying? And you know, your boy worked out, so you gotta get the muscle stuff going on, alright? But anyway, forget all that. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all ready? You see the title? You ready? Spider-Man. I'm gonna tell you right now, the name of this game is called The Amazing Spider-Man. But you know what? It's really amazing. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, no, I'm a fan of Spider-Man. I'm a fan of Spider-Man games. And this review is going to be not only the best review, but I'm going to tell you right now. Like, beenox, Activision, what they've done with Spider-Man now, I'm telling you, it's over. It's over. This is probably, like, the best superhero game. And now, already, I know you're like, oh, get the hell out of hip-hop game. You smoking. Like, yeah, all right. After this review, I guarantee you're going to feel me. And if not, rip the game if you don't believe me. But listen, you see my eyes, right? I'm telling you, it's crazy. So, let's get it started. First off, we're going to talk about the graphics, right? So, you know how I get down, right? So, with the graphics, let's talk about animation first. Now, one thing I love about this game so much is the actual, you know, the fighting, the combat. But the way it looks is phenomenal. So, you know, Spider-Man, you know, in terms of whether it's the comic or even the movie, this game represents the movie so much in terms of actual physics and animation. So when you swing in and stuff like that, and you flip around and you see, you know, like the whole Spider style, everything, you know, from the punch engine, all of this stuff is all there. It's all accurate. And not only does it feel good to play, but the way it looks when you play, it makes you feel like you are Spider-Man. And that's the difference between this Spider-Man game and any Spider-Man game that's ever been released. This Spider-Man is the first Spider-Man that really makes you feel like you are him. You are this character. I guarantee it. That's the first thing. The next thing is the detail. Now, what's so special about this game is that they changed the viewpoint. So if you remember other Spider-Man games, it had a far third-person look to it. You see what I'm saying? Now, they moved the camera up, so it looks like it's a second-person view video game. You know what I'm saying? It's like because they moved it up, so when you do certain things, it's like you're right there with them. It's that crazy. So, in terms of detail, you're gonna see things like when you're in a fight, right? You're gonna see your animation start to slow down when you get beat up. So you gotta actually, you know, get away and retreat so you can get your health back, because not only are you getting hurt, but you start moving slower because you're getting beat up, and then the animation change. That right there is sick. That is crazy sick, okay? Another thing in terms of the detail is your actual suit. Your suit get damaged so much to where you damn near seeing his whole body. Like, it's that, you see all the, you get damages right here too. Like, it's that insane. Okay, so that's another thing that blew me away in terms of, like, attention to detail, you know, in the graphics. Now, let's talk about the city. Manhattan. You never see Manhattan like this. Okay? Now, when you fly around the city, like, let's say it's, you know, it's nice outside, it's sunny outside, you see the sun rays, like, going through the, you know, the city, the buildings, everything looks amazing. And what's so great about the actual swinging is that it's exactly like the movie. So let's say you, like, swinging, you actually hear, you know, Peter Parker like, woo! Ah! Like, flying through the air. It's crazy. And then, like, when you let it go, he's like, go. Then you see the motion blur. Like, you really diving down there. And then at the last minute, you can swing right back up, and it goes just like the movie, son. Just like the movie. Like, it's so... like, it's emotional to me right now. Like, it's that crazy. So, that blew me away. And then, on top of that, when you swing it, you can move the camera around so you can see yourself swinging all kinds of ways, then swinging in all directions because the movement is so smooth. I'm telling you, this game is crazy. So, the attention to detail is beyond, okay? So, the last thing is the special effects. I'm going to say this one thing, and this happens in the very early part of the game. You're going to fight a boss. There's a boss battle in the beginning part of this game. And when you see this part, you're going to know what special effects is all about. Because I'm talking about the dust, the grittiness coming out of the ground. Yo, this game is crazy. The webbing, you know what I'm saying? The lasers being fired at you. You know, oh my God, I'm telling you, like, this game on a graphical level is word to everything. This game is so sick, okay? So that's the graphics. Let's move on. Now, let's talk about story. I'll get the gameplay after that, but let's talk about story. Now, the thing about this game, I love the story because of the plot. Now, when you start this game, you don't see no menu, you don't see no nothing. You see a video. And the video explains the whole story and what you're about to go through in the plot. And the way they do it, it's like you are watching a movie. Then when the game starts, you're like, this how it starts? It's crazy. So I'm gonna break it down like this because I don't want to spoil it, right? So if you're a fan, like if you play NBA 2K, if you play basketball games, right? You play NBA 2K. Remember in NBA 2K11 when they first introduced Michael Jordan? And when the very first time you power up NBA 2K11, right? Like the very first time you power it up, you're Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You hear the music. You go into, you walking down the locker room and stuff like that. You get on the court and you play out one of his most historic games right from the start. Then you see the menus. Then you see everything else. The same type of intensity and energy is in Spider-Man, yo. For real, you've never seen Spider-Man like this before. Trust me. So, in terms of the story, I felt like the story is like beyond incredible. Beyond incredible. So, and now, like I said, the plot is like there's Dr. Smythe, you know what I'm saying? What he wants to do is basically, get all of these robots and stuff like that to try to save the world, because he believes that when there's like terror, like coming to the world, because there's this infection that's being spread, right? So with this infection, he feels that he has to create these robots to stop the infection instead of just curing the infection. So that's basically this plot right there. You'll see the rest when you buy this game. It's crazy. So, but it's so sick. Now, the voice work. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, the voice acting in this game is crazy too. Like, everything about this game, I really can't believe it. Like, but the dialogue, when you're talking to Dr. Connors, when you're talking to Smythe, when you're talking to Gwen, you know what I'm saying? And, Spider-Man himself, the energy and the moments that you encounter in this game is incredible. Why? Because this is not only a great Spider-Man game, but it's the best cinematic Spider-Man game experience you ever gonna see. Cinematics, kid. It's crazy. So, to me, the story in terms of the plot, the dialogue, the voice work is crazy in terms of the energy. Now, the length, I'm going to tell you right now, be honest. I ended this game in about 5.5 hours, I believe. 5.5 hours. Now, stop it. All right, stop it. I don't want to hear nobody saying anything like, 5.5 hours, that's it. Play the damn game again or something if you want some more replay value. There's a lot of stuff in this game. The game is hot. Straight up. It's hot. And if you're going to go see the movie, you're going to want to play the game because the game takes place after the movie. Listen to me. I'm telling you, it's crazy. So the next thing I want to say is this, to end it off in terms of the story, is the overall presentation. And like I just explained on how you turn it on, how everything comes on, the presentation is great. But the presentation is also incredible throughout the game. When you seeing new enemies and new situations come upon you, I'm telling you, the way they present everything, you really feel like you're going through this, you living in the city and everything. And I'm going to tell you one thing about the presentation that makes it that amazing. They actually created an in-game Twitter feed. So in terms of the presentation, you reading all of these Twitter feeds because we read Twitter anyway. So they designed the game, that things that we normally wouldn't read, they designed it in a way that we would read it in a Twitter format, in a social media format. So now you're getting more information of the game from real people, everyday people that's living in the city that you're playing in. I should kick you in your face right now, man. This game is crazy. So that's the story. So we spoke about story. Spoke about graphics. Now let's go to the meat of the game, which is the gameplay. Now the combat in this game, I'm telling you, is very simple. It's very easy to catch on to. But what's so great about it is, how many, he has so many upgrades, so many moves, so many signature moves. It's such a variety of what he does. That's what makes it great. So I'm going to point out some things in terms of the combat. Now, the basic combat in terms of just fighting and, pushing triangle to dodge and stuff like that, all that is quick, it's responsive, it looks amazing, and it's fluid, okay? It's fluid, you know what I'm saying? And then, on top of that, you got this thing called web retreat. So if you push L1, automatically you're going to fly to a spot, you know what I'm saying, where, you don't have to worry, about the enemies. But you know what's so crazy? Even when you fly to a spot to hide, you know, throughout the game, it gets harder and harder. So they're going to have their flashlights and they're going to eventually spot you. So even though you went to a spot that's, you know, not visible, you still may have to go to another spot and go to another spot. That's crazy. Now, the next thing about the actual combat is that you got this thing called web rush mode. Now, web rush mode is like the parkour of Spider-Man, where you can keep webbing and go up buildings and do this and flip and swing, all of this stuff all in one. But the way it works in combat is I could go hide somewhere and then hold R1. Now, what's so great about this, I could web rush to the actual individual that I want to beat up, or I can web rush to an item. So let's say there's a vending machine. I can web rush to the vending machine, pick it up, boom, throw it at you. Let's say there's a canister. I can web rush to that, grab the canister, bam, throw you at that. Now all you guys is on the floor, then I can web you up and make my strategy different, depending on who I'm fighting. Yo, I'm so blown away by this game. It's ridiculous, son. Like ridiculous. Ridiculous. Okay? Now, I'm gonna say this, right? Now, in terms of the actual combat, now let's talk about swinging. Now, there's parts in this game where you're going to be fighting while you swinging in the air through the city, right? So when you swinging and stuff like that, people shooting like robots and stuff shooting at you and everything. So when they shooting at you, you can swing, then you start shooting webs at them in mid-air, then you swing again, then you got to like get on them, and guess what? When it's time to web rush, it just rushes right to them. So it's not difficult like in previous Spider-Man games to get on a car, get on somebody that you're trying to follow. Yo, they changed it up. You really are Spider-Man in this game when you control them. It's that incredible. All right? Now, the next thing I want to say is this. The upgrades. There's a lot of upgrades. And the way this game is, if you do all the side stuff, then you'll get all the upgrades. So at the end of the game, you have everything. But if you don't decide to do all the stuff, you'll have a lot of upgrades, but not all of them. But the amount of upgrades you do get is still incredible. You know what I'm saying? So there's a variety of ways Spider-Man evolves in this game. So you're not going to get bored. It's not going to get old. You're just going to want more until the very end of the game in the story. This game is phenomenal, yo. Phenomenal. So now we spoke about story. We spoke about graphics. We spoke about gameplay. So what's left? Let's talk about some features, then I'm out of here. Now, features, I'm going to just say this. The very first ever Spider-Man comic book, the very first comic book that introduced Spider-Man, guess what? You can collect it in this game, and you can read the entire comic book. You go to the features, and you can read the entire comic book. So they got like 300 comic books that you can actually read. So if you're a comic book fan, seriously, this game does all the justice you need, son. All the justice you need, it does it all. Okay, that's that. Then, on top of that, you get new suits. So there's a lot of other suits in the game, too. So that right there make you want to play the game a little bit more just because of the suit, because that's fan service right there. You see what I'm saying? So that's crazy right there. Then, on top of that, you got a lot of different side quests, and the side quest is fun. Whether you got to get an affected person to the hospital, whether somebody's robbing a bank and you got to stop them, whether somebody's trying to hijack a car and you got to go stop that, or whether you got to go take some pictures to help create better stories about you because of things you're going to find out in the story. Yo, this game has it all. You know what I'm saying? Has it all. Now, I'm going to just end this review like this. I don't compare games when it comes to reviews. I'm rating Spider-Man off of Spider-Man. But knowing the industry, knowing me being controversial the way I am, I'm going to just say this, and I'm just leave it at this. This is my opinion, and I know you're going to want me to explain my opinion, but that will come in another video. But let me just say this, and I got to be honest. Let me just say this. Everybody's going to compare Spider-Man to Batman in terms of the game. They're going to do it. I'm going to tell you this, and you may not believe me. You may not believe me. Because technically, I didn't want to believe me at first. But real recognize real, and competition makes for better games. And I'm going to say this. Spider-Man overall, when you break it down in terms of graphics, gameplay, story, features, whatever. Graphically, in my opinion, Spider-Man looks better than Batman. It edges it out. It ain't like no night and day look way better, but it looks better. It edges it out. Trust me. It's one. Gameplay, you know, it's kind of unfair to compare because Batman is still human. Spider-Man, you know, spider, so there's more he's going to be able to do. But in terms of which game makes you feel more like the superhero that you're playing, Spider-Man. Spider-Man. From a control standpoint, the ease of use of certain things, and what's in the game, and how fluid it is, Spider-Man got it. Definitely. Right? Now, that was graphics, that was gameplay. Now, in terms of story, that's, I know that has to do with fan stuff, but I will say this. The way the story is, I may have to lean with Batman a bit, just because, like, the energy in Batman's story, in terms of, like, Batman might die, and the way Joker plays his mind games, it's the way the characters are in that world is so unique that created a better story. And Spider-Man's story is phenomenal for what they do. You know what I'm saying? Truly is. But in terms of which one is better and more engaging, gotta go with Batman. So story, Batman. Graphics, gameplay, Spider-Man. Features, they both got great features. So I kind of put the draw right there. So overall, Spider-Man got a 1-up, in my opinion, on Batman. Now I could go into detail and all this other stuff, whatever. But just for right now, for this video and for this review, Spider-Man, yo, you truly are what they call amazing. One love and God bless. It's your boy Hip Hop Gamer. You already know what time it is, man. Holla at y'all later. Peace.